Good afternoon. Welcome to Power Up Mondays Online. This is our Lunch and Learn edition. And today I'm live from our central location, as most of the library branches are now open on Mondays, and the central branch is actually up until 9 p.m. tonight. My name's Nadine, and I'm a public service programmer for the Adult Programming Department across HPL. And today we have part 3 in our 3-part series about Digital Main Street. If you missed part 1, you can still watch it on HPL's YouTube channel on the Power Up Monday playlist. It was specific about the Shop Here program, and part 2 is also posted there and talks about the Digital Services Squad. And part 3 will be posted as soon as it's available. Joining us today is Keith Russell and Sarah Party. Keith is a business development officer at the Hamilton Business Center. He's also a Digital Main Street Digital Service Squad member here in Hamilton, Ontario. And Sarah, who's our main speaker today, is the project manager for Hamilton's Future Proofing Main Street program, which is a part of Digital Main Street. She's currently working out of Innovation Factory. And Innovation Factory is Hamilton's catalyst for tech innovation and provides entrepreneurs with business services training, mentorship, and strategic connections to help them build and scale successful businesses that attract investment and create new jobs. Sarah is working collaboratively with Hamilton's Digital Main Street team and other stakeholders in the Hamilton, Brant, and Haldimand Norfolk region to understand where effective future-proofing efforts can be made with small businesses. If you would like to ask either Keith or Sarah any questions during the presentation, please go to the top right of your screen. There you will find a chat icon into which you can type your questions. We're also going to post contact information there for both Keith and Sarah, as well as a link to a webinar. If your questions aren't covered during the presentation, we'll do our very best to answer them at the end, as well as you can write down their contact information so that you can also connect with them. And just as a side note, due to the pandemic, we did have to reschedule our Power Up Monday evening session last week on Monday, October the 26th, the Survive and Thrive After Job Loss. Stay posted, though, for a new date. We hope to have that soon. And you can also join us again later this month on Monday, November the 30th at 6:30 p.m. with Jen Warren, who's a chartered professional accountant for maximizing your business. And now we go live to Sarah from Digital Main Street and Innovation Factory. And you're live, Sarah.
Thanks, Nadine. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to part 3, Digital Main Street Future Proof. Today, I'm eager to tell you a bit more about the Transformation Team program that's available to small businesses. First, though, I do want to say this does sound familiar to the Digital Transformation Grant that Keith talked about in part 2. So as we go through, I'll let you know how Transformation Teams is much different from the Transformation Grant. And first, we'll go over what I'm going to cover in today's webinar. So who is Digital Main Street? We'll go over the Future Proof Transformation Teams program, who is eligible for Transformation Teams, a little overview of the program, how Transformation Teams differs from the Digital Service Squad, examples of businesses who went through the Transformation Team program, and we'll have some time for some questions. And then I'll turn it over to Keith and he'll give you some DMS program updates at the end. So who is Digital Main Street? So Digital Main Street is a program and service that helps Main Street businesses achieve digital transformation. Just to go over what a Main Street is. So a Main Street is any business that is located in a business improvement area or a designated commercial zone area. And for rural areas, that's any business that is located in an area designated highway commercial. So Digital Main Street was originally launched in Toronto back in 2016. 2018, there's an Ontario expansion. Essentially, the province came on board and added the $2,500 digital transformation grant and the grant program and the Digital Service Squad program. And now 2020, they've added 2 new programs, which are the Shop Here program and the Future Proof program. So on the next slide, we have all the Digital Main Street programs that are currently running and that currently make up all Digital Main Street. So they all have the common goal, which is to help businesses achieve digital transformation. So the first one there is, just back, sorry, I'll just run through them. So the first one is the shop here. That was the one that Nadine mentioned from the part 1 Digital Main Street back in August. And that's the free service to help businesses and artists set up an online store. And it comes with a free 90-day trial. The second one there is the part 2, which is the digital, the $2,500 digital transformation business grant and digital service squad. And then the third is the transformation teams program, and which is this one helps businesses adapt to changes in their sectors because of COVID-19, and will also help businesses thrive in the new economy. Okay, so what are transformation teams? So transformation teams is a free 2 to 6 week program that provides free in-depth digital transformation services and support to help businesses adapt to changes in their sector. So transformation teams, they provide a wide variety of support, and each team will build a custom plan for a business to help solve a wide variety of challenges. So some of these challenges or some of the support that they offer here includes changing your business model, help you understand your market, create new business opportunities, help with business strategy, improve business operations with technology, customer service and engagement, gaining new customers, and some other support that's offered might be with online selling, content marketing, supply chain management, advertising, and the list goes on. So each transformation team is made up of a group of 5 experienced students who specialize in digital marketing, graphic design, web design, copywriting, and UX UI design. And I guess it's essentially like having a small temporary digital marketing agency, if you will. So who is eligible for transformation teams? So to be eligible, the business must be a registered business in Ontario. However, businesses with a commercial location will be prioritized. And specific focus for this program are for those businesses that are in the retail, restaurant, hospitality, and tourism sectors. So this is just a little overview of what happens during the program. So each transformation team will work with a business through these 5 steps of the process, and this will happen over a 2 to 6 week period. So that's actually anywhere from 10 to 30 hours. So essentially transformation teams will spend 1 hour, one day for every business day, up to anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. So for the first stage, participants can fill out a pre-registration form online. And then once they fill out that pre-registration form, I just want to note that they just need to keep an eye out in your email inbox for the full application form. And that full application form will take about 7 to 10 minutes to complete. And once the business is accepted into the program, the transformation teams will go through a business and goals assessment. Then from there, they'll build the transformation plan, and then they'll execute the business transformation plan, and then transfer the plan over to the business owner. I just want to go over what the difference between the digital service squad and the transformation programs, and we're going to go over the differences there. So the transformation teams program and digital service squad, they differ in terms of depth. So the transformation teams, they focus on deep dives to address complex challenges and will deliver the services on behalf of the business. And then the speed that this happens, that's also different from the digital service squad because the transformation teams, these are fast-paced projects. So anywhere, like I mentioned, anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. And then the third difference there is the specialization. the transformation teams will offer that 5-to-1 support, whereas the digital service squad offers the one-to-one support. And then on the next slide there, you'll see a layout, a little like just outlining a little bit more of what the differences are. So like I mentioned, digital service squad's 1-to-1, transformation teams are 5-to-1. Squad members, for the most part, have expertise in digital marketing and digital transformation, and like I said, those transformation team members are specialized in web design, copyright, graphic design, UX, UI, and digital marketing. And then not every municipality across the province has a digital service squad, so this is where transformation teams is actually really beneficial, is to kind of fill in those gaps around the province. However, the digital service squad and the transformation team program can complement each other. So there's been businesses that have started to work with the digital service squad, and the digital service squad has encouraged them to apply for the transformation teams program. And then once they went through that, they've come back and continued to get support from their digital service squad. These are just some examples of some businesses that went through the transformation team program. So boutique retail stores, they're having a significant decrease in their in-store foot traffic, and they need help increasing traffic on their online store. A catering company faces challenges due to shortages in corporate and group events, and they're looking to pivot and introduce new products and services. And a coffee supplier who's facing B2B challenges with cafe and restaurants and looking to sell directly to consumers. And that might also include like maybe an in-person health and recreation service that are now having to promote their new remote offerings digitally as well. Those are just some examples. Okay, so what's next? So transformation teams, you do go online, and all the application is fully online. There is the link there. Like I said, you'll fill out a pre-registration form, and once that pre-registration form is complete, keep an eye out for the full application form to your email. I emphasize this because there have been some applications that have been missed, so I just want you to know that. And if you could share anything about the transformation teams program with any businesses in your network, that would be great. And then if you require more information, there is a transformation teams webinar on Eventbrite every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. and that goes until November 26th. So that's an opportunity to get on a webinar with the people on these transformation teams, and they will help answer any really in-depth questions that you may have. So I know I flew through that. So are there any questions at all on transformation teams before we turn it over for any DMS program updates?
I had one question, Sarah, sure, that came in, and it was just wondering what B2B means.
Okay, so that's so business to business, and I think
business to business. Okay.
Yeah, so I mentioned that. So these those coffee suppliers were having a hard time selling to their product to cafes or restaurants. So they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we still make money? So they're looking to switch to B2C, which would be selling to customers. So that would be business to customers.
Okay.
So selling direct to customers. Yeah.
And could you just review those deadlines again? There was so they can use the transformational teams until the end of March. Does this digital service squad also have a deadline, or is it ongoing as well?
So digital service squad is ongoing. Transformation teams does have a deadline of March 2021. However, keep in mind that it is up to a 6-week program. So try to get your application in, I would say January.
And is there any cost associated with using a transformational team, or is it a free service?
There aren't any costs, so it is free to sign up for and work with a transformation team. However, if they hand over a transformation plan and there's some, there's some recommendations in there for the business to buy some new technology, that would be on the business to pay for that new technology. But the actual process that the transformation teams goes through, that is completely free.
And would that be perhaps where one of those grants might come into place? They might be able to use a grant to pay for some of those, recommended services or technology or something like that, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think transformation teams, they encourage people to apply for that $2,500 grant even prior to using transformation teams if they can, because then they can help work with the business on where to spend those funds.
Okay, great. And just one more question before we move ahead.
Sure.
You mentioned that there's a webinar on Thursday mornings. Would that be much different than this session, or would it be more in detail?
I would say it's probably a little bit more in detail. It's also just, an opportunity to learn more about it. I know this will be recorded as well, and people can go through and listen again. But it is, it's a good way for, there'll be other questions to ask on there, so it's a great way for people to learn more. Yeah.
Okay, super. Thanks so much. We're just going to move on to the next slide because I know we're going to talk a little bit more about the grants that you were just mentioning.
Okay. Keith, I don't know if you want to go over the grants here.
yeah, for sure. Well, again, great presentation, Sarah, and again, Nadine, thanks for having me. I think we touched on two really important points in that little exchange there, and one is that the services or the programs are stackable essentially. And so if you are a small business struggling and you do need some more in-depth help, this is where the transformation teams comes into play. Like Sarah mentioned, with the 5-to-1 support, as opposed to the one-on-one support you'd get from the digital service squad. But think about it from if you are going through the transformation teams and you still need a website. This is where you can take advantage of the Shop Here program while still going through the transformation program, and at the very same time be applying for the digital transformation grant. So don't think because you need just one particular, like you have to just pick one particular kind of route to go down. Know that you can stack these, and that's kind of the big benefit to it. Another thing is the B2B industry, or the business to business industry, is something we traditionally don't think of. Or it's just not top of mind when we think of businesses going through a rough time, primarily because they're not generally, front-facing businesses. We're not seeing them all the time or interacting with them. But it's very much important that they apply for these grants, these programs as well. So real quickly, there are some program updates related to the digital transformation grant. Again, that's the $2,500 grant available, as well as the Shop Here program. And so in terms of, sorry, Nadine, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, I see here, there's still 720 $2,500 grants still available. That's a lot of money. And we have till the end of November to apply. That's amazing. And that's earmarked for Hamilton.
Absolutely. So we've identified, yes, essentially, we have 720 individual grants that could possibly be given out to Hamilton small businesses. And so, $2,500 times the 720, we get $1.8 million in funding that's available. Of course, your business needs to meet the eligibility guidelines. But I mean, if you are a small business that is located in one of the 13 BIAs in Hamilton, I'm not going to say that you're a shoo-in, but with respect to eligibility, you're definitely going to qualify. Of course, there's other qualifying factors in there that you're going to have to investigate, and that can all be found on the digitalmainstreet.ca/Ontario grants page of their website. But if you happen to be a business that's located outside of a BIA, or you're close to a BIA, Don't be shy. You can always reach out to digitalmainstreet@hamilton.ca, and we can let you know very quickly if your location would be eligible, because location eligibility is usually where businesses get, small businesses get hung up on. So feel free to reach out at any time and we can investigate that for you. One small thing we didn't note here is well, yes, and again, sorry, the application deadline for the Digital Transformation Grant Program is November 30th, 2020. So make sure to get your application in before that time. With respect to Shop Here, we did our Lunch and Learn maybe a month or so ago now on Shop Here. And again, as Sarah mentioned, that is the program aimed to get small businesses online, get them selling online and very quickly. And the cost of that program is free of charge to build out the e-commerce website, as well as there's the 3-month free trial that's provided. So essentially 3 months free hosting for the small business. And that's a great opportunity to figure out whether you're going to be able to, manage it and make it a viable part of your business. But the update to that is now, originally all e-commerce sites were being built on the Shopify platform. Of course, Shopify is the juggernaut Canadian e-commerce platform. But there's also the ability, there we go. There's also the ability to, for your store to be built out on the Square, sorry, it shouldn't be Squarespace, it should be Square platform. And so it's just another option and a little bit more flexibility for the small business owner, again, just depending on which platform they prefer. You'll also get, there's the opportunity to get a free .ca domain for 1 year. So if it's something you don't have, or you currently have a website and you don't want to take it down as you shouldn't, if it's built up some authority, but you still want a store, you could get another closely related domain name just for that store. And again, Shop Here is available until March 31st, 2021. And the goals are very ambitious. Shop Here and Digital Main Street want to build 50,000 websites by the end of March. And so don't be afraid, there's a lot of room still to go. So if you are a small business or an artist, feel free to apply to the program. The requirements are very, very minimal. You essentially just need to be a registered business. You can be home-based or being, paying commercial taxes somewhere. It doesn't matter. Digital Main Street, of course, has always had, as part of their digital transformation program, a wonderful digital marketing video training course that kind of covered the gauntlet of everything related to digital marketing. But they've also just released a few separate courses. So now there's 3 free courses in total. The first one is Main Street Relaunch. So this program will help small business owners relaunch their business with a focus on e-commerce in online marketing in the wake of COVID-19. So that course, I believe, is broken down into seven modules. And then there's the second one called Marketing Your Business in the New Economy. So if you have went through the digital transformation program or just created an account to find out what this is all about, that is the primary course that all businesses must take to qualify for the grant. And then there's Digital Transformation Training Program. And since this is essentially the second iteration of DMS, so this is DMS 2.0, I guess you'd call it, Digital Transformation Training Program was the first course that was available to small business. And it's a considerably longer course. It's 8 hours in length, incredibly in more depth. So all of those courses are now just free for any business owner to enroll. And they can navigate and find those courses by visiting digitalmainstreet.ca and clicking on the resources tab at the top, and they'll see the free courses.
Wow, that's incredible. I just wanted to show everyone so they have time to get down both of your contact information. But that digitalmainstreet.ca, that certainly seems to be the best place to go for resources, to apply, to get more information, to do those courses. And they're free even if you maybe don't qualify for a grant, or you maybe have already taken advantage of some things but not others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the great part. So they Digital Main Street does not want to leave any business, kind of high and dry. There's a resource for you regardless whether you qualify for the grant or not.
That's fantastic. I know I recently got an email through the library of a local business that has had some terrific success with Digital Main Street and really felt it has had a very positive impact on both their internet, like their web traffic, as well as their foot traffic into their location. And couldn't see why, everyone isn't taking advantage of this. Have you had any sort of similar feedback, either Keith or Sarah, of different individuals you've dealt with in the community?
I personally am working with a small business owner who's striving to open up a restaurant in a very, very challenging time right now. He's not launched yet, but we worked one-on-one, and because of the numerous challenges that he's going to face due to COVID, I thought, with the complexity of his business model and all of the challenges that he was facing, that he should reach out to Futureproof, just because he could really benefit from that 5-to-1 ratio, in that hour a day, 5 days a week for potentially up to 6 weeks. And I felt, although he was getting a lot of value out of what I was helping him with, it would just be that much more beneficial to him if there was 5 of me. And so I recommended that he go to Futureproof and apply, and he did, and he was accepted, and he's going through the program right now. And it's substantially accelerated what I could have done for him, working with him an hour and a half a week. And so the great part is that once he's done with the Futureproof team and they've got his transformation plan in place and he's operating, he can then come back to me for any ongoing support that he may need, in any verticals that he's, hasn't really got a full grasp over. So that's the great part. It's all stackable.
Yeah, I love that you guys are referring even within the programs to each other. That's and you're so familiar with what each different route offers and can take, and that people can go down all these different paths either at the same time or come back to them. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and if anybody out there follows the Hamilton Business Center social, so our Facebook page, and as well as our Instagram account, we are making a concerted effort to post more testimonials on there of business owners that have either went through the Digital Transformation Grant Program or the Shop Here program, or even when they're done the Futureproof program. We're more than open to share those stories because we see a lot more value in showing people the successes that people have had with the programs rather than just talking about the benefits. It's just way more impactful when you can hear from a local business owner and see that they've had the same problems that you may have encountered and how they were to overcome, how they were able to overcome them, and just seeing that the programs were so vital in that overcoming of whatever it is that they were facing.
Well, it certainly has been, a difficult time the last several months. And I know that having programs like this that people can plug into and take advantage of and have that either that one-on-one support that Digital Service Squad offers or that 5-on-1 support that Futureproof offers, that's really incredible, is so important during this time in order to have that type of recovery. And it's also a wonderful time to be launching a new business. I'm just going to check with my colleague here, Nancy, who's been assisting me with our program today. I think the two of you have done a wonderful job addressing all of the questions, and I think we've answered most of them. Is there anything else either of you wanted to add? I know that the deadline for those grants is the end of the month, so definitely apply now to see if you can obtain one of those $2,500 grants. Was there anything else, Sarah, that you could think of?
I think just if anybody has any questions about transformation teams, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I'll do my best to answer questions. So.
Excellent. And we've got Sarah's email right there at Innovation Factory, as well as Keith's at Digital Main Street, and links to websites and phone numbers. And Keith, was there anything else that you wanted to add right before we wrap up?
Yeah, sure. If you're a home-based business, if you're a business with a brick and mortar store, if you are an artist, if you're a non-registered business, it doesn't matter. You can always, if you need support regarding social media, SEO, website, we talk a lot about eligibility for a lot of these programs, but at the end of the day, if you need help with anything related to digital marketing, you can still reach out to the Digital Service Squad. There's literally no requirements, just that you need assistance, and know that myself or one of my colleagues can send you our calendar, and you can book a one-on-one consultation with us, and we can work through whatever it is you have questions about or need assistance with. And if you navigate to the website address that you see online, the Invested Hamilton / Hamilton Business Center, you can find the Digital Main Street page, and you'll see my calendar and a link to my colleague's calendar. And don't be shy, just book an appointment. Even if you just need to talk through something related to your business, we're here to help you with that, free of charge.
Oh, that's terrific. And I know that we had both you and Danielle at the beginning of October talking about the Digital Service Squad with more details there. So if you did miss that one, it is posted on the Power Up Monday playlist on the HPL's YouTube channel. I wanted to just say thank you so much to both Keith Russell and Sarah Party for joining us today from the Hamilton Business Center and from Innovation Factory, helping us learn more about Digital Main Street and all the wonderful things that you're offering. And please keep posted to see when this part 3 of this Digital Main Street segment will be posted as well to our YouTube channel. Thanks again so much, Keith and Sarah, and have a great rest of your lunch and rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.